pass it back to you as the industry.
Oh, here we go.
What is it that you do to encourage people into your industry, like apprenticeship schemes, females, the whole, because at the moment, you look around the room, some very experienced operators, but they're not going to be around forever.
Well, you can talk about the scheme that we've been trying to do with Green Acres, vocational skills for life college, and we've been very keen. We've started working with National Highways, and then that directive got moved on. But it's a massive.
That's about apprenticeship.
That's about apprenticeship. It's a massive problem in terms of what we do and how we do it. And it's about, one of the things, now we've got these partnerships, when you talk about demonstrations and things like that, but now we've got the facility and the partnership. I know you've got a guy, you've got a guy in your organisation that actually went to the same Green Acres Academy as me. And he's very interested in working with him in encouraging people into accepting maybe that this might be more of a vocation. Coming into an emergency service, then Jack, the breakdown driver, which is what we've got. But part of it is our fault because we've got to change our image and we've got to make this not just vocational, but something that someone can aspire to. And we've got to go into schools. The same way as you go into schools you take fire engines in there, you take ambulances in there, you take police cars in there.
We could do it as a collaboration.
We could do that as a collaboration, but we need to be going out to school. We need to be looking at apprenticeships because part of the generational changes that are coming along. This industry was born on mum and papa companies, right? And whereas they used to roll over, you'd have someone to take over that mum and papa company. If they have got someone that's capable of taking it over, they're looking at this industry now and running for their lives. I know my son am. Because why would you want to come into this industry as it is? We're working on a model that was first brought in 1980. And we haven't done much to change what we do. You've got, you mentioned the air services, cancelling all these flights and whatever, because their model's simply not sustainable anymore. And if you look at all the other, the health service, we can't get a doctor. But this industry, through thick and through COVID, you've got someone screaming the gaff down because we're an hour and a half late on a job, and it's like the world's collapsed. And you've got people that can't get cancer treatment, people that are chronically ill, that are waiting for years, not hours. Right, if you phone up any other industry, anything, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you'll either get a robot or nothing. There must be 50, 60, 24-hour control rooms in this industry that pick the phone up after 3 calls. And you've got a driver sat there. What other service can you get like that? But that model is not sustainable. And policies have been sold on a promise that's simply not achievable. And so when you look at this industry, if people can't get HGV drivers for 40 grand and 45 grand and 50 grand a year, when you look at what we have to be, just to be a recovery driver, you don't sit there, you get someone delivering to Tesco's, he sits in his motor, he don't even get out and unload it. You've got train drivers getting 60 grand a year driving trains that are driverless trains. And they're all springing the place down. So, attracting people back into this industry, we've got to raise his profile. Grant Chaps told me that he can't understand why there's 50% of the population are obviously women. Well, give or take the new model women, but we don't really. But 50% of the population are women. But 1% of women are in transport. Now, what does that take? Now, most women drive. A lot of women, when they get to the age of 17, and I'll tell you what, I've had 3 female recovery drivers, and I wish I'd had 303, because they're brilliant. But it's a very difficult sector. Look, we can't get male drivers now, let's have it right. Like, we're struggling to recruit, aren't we? And all that training and all that we're talking about, that they've got to go through. And plus they've got to have customers, they've got to be able to deal with customers, deal with situations like that. And they've got to go through all of that so that they can sit in London traffic for 5 hours and earn 15 quid. And then you've got people that are offering 60 grand a year just to be that driver, not training, they've just got to have an HGV licence and then they're good to go. And they can't be good. But all the presentations have been relevant, all the speakers have been brilliant. I've got to thank Sue Allen at the back, who's now the Prof Administrator. Without her, we wouldn't have had this, we wouldn't have had this competition. Paul Gregory and Derek. I mean, everyone sees Prof, they see me, but I can't work. Everyone says about Prof being me and I've done this. Let me tell you, Andy Lambert, who's doing the filming there, I drive him mad. Derek.
Yep.
Paul. I have help from all these different corners. Matt, sometimes other people at the company. It's not just me. And these people, without them, there would be no Prof and there wouldn't be this conference today. So thank you all for coming. Thank all your presenters for an excellent day's conference. And thanks for being a federation now. Thank you.